Students, in the previous video lecture, we have already learned that there will be EMF developed in the coil, and this EMF is equal to minus delta pi divided by delta T. This is the equation which we have got. This is from Faraday's law. This is from Faraday's law. When there is relative motion between coil and as well as magnet, there will be some magnetic field. There will be some EMF developed over here, over in the coil. So corresponding to that, the EMF can be calculated. So EMF is equal to minus delta pi divided by delta T. And we already have learned magnetic flux pi is equal to B dot A, or you can write it as B A into cos theta. Okay. So as we know, EMF developed is equal to minus d pi divided by dt. You can just take this pi. Pi is equal to BA cos theta. You can just write it as B. You can take it as constant. A you can take it as constant, or cos theta you can take constant. Three of them are variable. So we will write this as EMF is equal to minus d by dt of B A into cos theta. Okay. So if B is constant, A and cos theta may be variable. A is constant, B and cos theta may be variable. If cos theta is constant, B and A can be variable. Okay. So we are considering that B is variable, A is variable, cos theta is variable individually. So therefore, I can just write it as EMF is equal to minus into BA. I am taking it as constant. It is d by dt of cos theta plus B cos theta into dA divided by dt plus A cos theta into dB divided by dt. Right? Now clearly from this equation you can understand that whenever there is EMF developing in the coil, that can be due to change in the angle, it can be due to change in the area of cross section, or it can be due to change in the magnetic field. So if any one parameter is undergoing change, the EMF will be developed within the coil, right? So out of these three can be variable, or any one can be variable. Therefore, clearly you should understand that any one parameter can be variable, or all the three can be variable. All the three can be variable. If any of the three is variable, or even the three is variable, you will be getting EMF. And EMF developed is maximum if all parameters vary. So EMF developed in the coil will be maximum if magnetic field is changing, area of cross section is changing, and as well as angle between magnetic field and area of cross section is changing. If all the three are variables, then the maximum EMF can be developed in the circuit. Okay, this is how EMF developed in the coil. You can write down mathematical expression for EMF developed in the coil. So students, we already have got this equation in the last video itself. Induced EMF, equation for induced EMF is minus delta pi by delta T. This is from Faraday's second law. This is from Faraday's second law. We got this equation. Now let us write down equation for induced current. As we know, current is equal to EMF divided by time taken delta t. So current I is equal to, I'm sorry, divided by resistance R. EMF developed is induced EMF. R is resistance of the coil. EMF is induced EMF and capital R is resistance of coil. Therefore, induced current is equal to EMF developed divided by resistance R. EMF developed is equal to minus delta pi divided by delta t into R. Therefore, I induced can be simply written as minus 1 by capital R into pi final minus pi initial divided by delta t. This is equation for induced current in the circuit. This is induced current. Likewise, you can find out even induced charge. What is the equation for charge? We know Q is equal to I into T. Therefore, Q induced is equal to I induced into time taken T, that is delta T time. So Q induced is equal to, what is I induced? I induced is equal to minus delta pi divided by R into delta T into delta T. This delta T gets cancelled. I can write Q induced is equal to minus of delta pi divided by R. This is equation for induced charge within the coil. So whenever there is flux linked with the coil is changing, corresponding to that flux change in the coil, you will be getting induced EMF in the circuit, induced current in the circuit, and induced charge in the circuit. So we have got these equations: induced EMF, induced current, and induced charge. And you can even calculate work done in the circuit. Work done is equal to VI into T. Therefore, work done W is equal to EMF induced into I induced into time taken T. So therefore, work done can be written as delta V into Q. This is induced and this is induced. So work done can be simply written as EMF induced is minus delta pi divided by delta T, and Q induced is equal to minus delta pi divided by R. Therefore, work done is equal to minus of minus will become plus delta pi whole square divided by R into delta T. This is equation for work done. We can calculate work done here. But what is delta pi? Delta pi is equal to BA. This like if initial flux is equal to 0, theta initial is equal to 0, and theta final is equal to 180 degrees. Then in such cases, you will be writing it as BA. Then work done W is equal to B square A square divided by R into delta T. This is equation for work done. Simultaneously, you can calculate power also. Induced power in the circuit. Induced power you can calculate. Power induced is equal to I square into R, or you can write it as V square divided by R. Any of the equation you can use. Either it is I square R or either you can use V square R. If you are using V square R, V is equal to EMF induced, and this EMF induced is equal to delta pi by delta t, or pi divided by t. Pi is equal to B dot A, which is equal to T. You can just substitute that here. So P induced will be equal to B square A square divided by T square into R. R is the resistance. Or you can even write P induced is equal to I square R. What is I square? I square is B square A square divided by R square into T square into R. This R and this R gets cancelled. Whatever the same equation which is obtained here, you will be getting the same equation P induced over there. This is how you can find out from just V, I and Q. Whatever the parameter we require, you can calculate that. All equations which are used in current electricity can be inherited here also. Relations between induced voltage, induced EMF, induced charge, work done, power calculated, all those equations can be samely inherited from current electricity. Those equations are valid here also, but everywhere you will be using induced term in the beginning. Induced EMF, induced current and induced charge. You should call it as induced. So whenever we are calculating EMF, simply you can use this equation B dot A or BA divided by time taken T. So delta pi can be flux change, final flux minus initial flux if the coil is being rotated, if I am taking it. Initial angle, if I am considering it as 0, and initial flux if I am taking it as 0. So pi initial is 0, therefore total change in the flux will be equal to BA into cos pi. Pi is final angle. So this final angle, whatever I am taking here, this is final angle. I am sorry. This is final angle. Theta final is equal to 0. I can write cos 0 will be equal to 1. It is BA. So delta pi I am taking it as BA. Delta T, it is initial time 0. You can take it as T. Therefore, EMF induced will be equal to BA minus, of course, divided by time taken. I is equal to V by R minus BA divided by R into time taken, and charge induced Q will be equal to I into T. It is minus BA divided by R into T. T and T gets cancelled, so Q will be equal to minus BA divided by R. We can calculate work done. We can calculate work done W is equal to VIT, that you can substitute here. Power P is equal to I square into R, or you can write it as VIT divided by T, or you can write it as V square divided by R. All these values can be substituted here so that you will be getting power, induced charge, whatever asked in the problem. Same equations we have done in the previous slide, they are being repeated here. Students, the magnetic flux through a coil perpendicular to its plane is varying across the relation phi b is equal to phi t cube plus 4t square plus 2t minus phi Weber. Weber is the unit of magnetic flux. Calculate induced current through the coil at a time t is equal to 2 seconds. The resistance of the coil is given as 5 ohm. What is the equation for induced current? I induced is equal to EMF divided by resistance R, which is minus of 1 by capital R into d pi divided by dt. So I induced can be simply written as minus 1 by capital R into d by dt of pi value. It is substituted here, pi t cube plus 4t square plus 2t minus 5. You can just differentiate this. So I induced can be simply written as is equal to minus of 1 by resistance is 5 ohm into d by dt of 5t cube. 5t cube is 5 into t square plus 4 into 5 into 3t square plus 4 into 2t plus 2 minus 0. This is minus 1 by 5 into 15t square plus 8t plus 2. At t is equal to 2 seconds, you will just substitute here. I induced will be equal to minus 1 by 5 into 15 into 4 plus 8 into 2 plus 2. This is minus 1 by 5 into 15 for 60 plus 16 plus 2. And this is in ampere. That is the final induced current in the circuit. Next question. Some magnetic flux is changed from a coil of resistance 10 ohm. The coil resistance is given as 10 ohm. As a result, an induced current is developed in it, which varies with time. I'm sorry, question is incomplete here. So we will go with the next question. Actually, there should be one figure. That figure is missing in the question. We'll go with the other problem. Right. A long solenoid with 1.5 turns per centimeter has, so number of turns per centimeter is 1.5 per centimeter, has a small loop of area of cross section which is equal to 2 centimeter square placed inside a solenoid normal to its axis. If the current in the solenoid changes steadily, delta I is equal to 2 ampere to 4 ampere in 1 second. Delta I divided by delta T is equal to 4 minus 2 divided by 1, which is equal to 2 ampere per second. The EMF induced in the loop is dash. So you are supposed to find out EMF induced in the loop. Now the question is mentioned in such a way, there is a, let me consider this is a solenoid. This is a solenoid. You will be connecting this to a battery of voltage V, and as a result there will be some current passing in the circuit. And there is a coil which is placed inside the solenoid normal to its axis. That means you have a coil which is placed here and that is normal to the, like this. This is a coil. Its area vector can be in this direction, and the magnetic field will be developed within this solenoid. So as we know, magnetic field developed in solenoid is equal to mu naught N I, where N is number of turns per unit length, I is current in the circuit, and this is magnetic field due to solenoid. Let me take this as equation number 1. I want to now calculate EMF developed within the coil. See, we are placing one coil here. This is the coil. Now in this coil, its area of cross section is mentioned. Because there is change in the magnetic field produced by the solenoid, there will be EMF induced in that green color coil which is placed inside the solenoid. So EMF induced will be equal to minus of d pi divided by dt, which is equal to minus d by dt of pi is equal to b dot a, that is b a into cos theta. So it is 0, that will be equal to 1. So it can be written as BA. This is equal to A into d by dt of minus will be as usual. Magnetic field due to solenoid is mu naught Ni. Mu naught N is constant. You can just write it out. It is minus mu naught N into capital A into di divided by dt. This is equation for EMF developed in the coil. So EMF developed is equal to minus mu naught Na into di by dt. This is equation number 2. Now in order to calculate EMF developed, substitute all the values in the problem. So from equation 2, you can just substitute EMF induced is equal to minus 4 pi into 10 power minus 7. Number of turns it is 1.5 per centimeter. Area of cross section is 2 centimeters square. Of course, it is 2. And change in the current is also equal to 2. This is equal to minus 4 pi into 10 power minus 7 into 4. 4 into 1.5, 4 5 is 20, 4 1s are 4, 5 6, 6.0. This is equal to 6 4 is 24 minus 24 pi into 10 power minus 7 into that centimeter. You should convert it into meter. So here 1.5 per centimeter is in the denominator. Area of cross section centimeter square. That and that gets cancelled. Remain will be only 1 centimeter and it will be 10 power minus 2 and this is in volt. So final answer is minus 24 pi into 10 power minus 9 volt. Because volt is in SI system, I should convert that centimeter into meter. I have converted it and finally written the answer. Minus 24 pi into 10 power minus 9 volt is the EMF developed due to change in the magnetic field produced within the solenoid. A square loop of side 10 centimeter. You have a square loop. Its side is given as 10 centimeter. And its resistance is 5 ohm. Is placed vertically in the east-west plane. It is placed in the east-west plane and it is placed vertically in east-west plane. The uniform magnetic field B is given. It is 0.10 Tesla. Is a setup across the plane in northeast direction. So magnetic field is in the northeast direction. This is north, east, west and south. The coil is placed in east-west direction and that is placed vertically in east-west direction. It is placed vertically like this in east-west direction and the magnetic field is set up along the plane in northeast direction. So magnetic field in this is given. Magnetic field is set up in the northeast direction. This is the direction of magnetic field B bar. Okay. Now the plane which is over here, it is making an angle as it is northeast exactly. You can take this angle theta as 45 degrees. So here B bar make an angle of 45 degrees with area vector. So as a result, in order to find out the magnetic field is decreased to 0 in 0.70 second at a steady rate, the magnitude of current in the time interval is dash. You want to find out magnitude of magnetic field. In order to calculate magnitude of magnetic field, magnitude of current in the time interval, I can write I induced is equal to minus d pi divided by r into dt. That is equation for this is equal to minus d into ba divided by r into dt. Therefore, I can write from here I induced is equal to minus d by dt of, it is 1 by r into d by dt of b dot a, it is b a into cos 45, because angle between a and b, it is 45 degrees, because the magnetic field is in the northeast direction. So this cos 45 and area of cross section, you can just bring it out. This will be minus of a into cos 45, it is 1 by root 2 divided by r into d by dt of magnetic field B, and this is equal to minus area of cross section of this square loop. Square loop area is 10 centimeter whole square divided by resistance of the coil is 5 ohm and root 2 as it is. dB by dt, magnetic field is undergoing change, it is decreased to 0, that is 0.10 minus 0 divided by, in how much time interval it has been changed, 0.70 second. This is equal to minus 10 into 10 power 10 square into 10 power minus 4 into 0.10 divided by 5 into 1.4 into 0.70, right? This you need to calculate so that you will be getting induced current. So if you evaluate this total, you will be getting induced current that can be written as 10 power 2 and 10 power minus 4 become 10 power minus 2. 10 power minus 2 into 1.0, you can just write it as, numerator I am writing it as minus 1 into 10 power minus 3 divided by 70. This is you can just write it as 5 into 14 into root 2. I am writing it as 1.414 actually, but I am taking it as just 1.4. 1.4, 10 power minus 1 will be left over there. Here I am taking it as 7 into 10 power minus 2. Right? If you evaluate this, finally you will get answer for induced current, and that will be in ampere.